that's exactly where Dutton Ranch left us. Just when Beth and Rip thought they had finally escaped the ghosts of Yellowstone to build a new future in Texas, the season 1 finale proved they had actually walked straight into a battlefield that had been waiting for them all along. Now, a mysterious man steps out of the shadows. Old secrets begin to surface. Blood debts are ready to be collected. And the biggest question isn't who survives. It's who controls Rio Paloma when the dust finally settles. If even half of these theories become reality, Season 2 could become the darkest and most explosive chapter the Yellowstone universe has ever delivered. So stay with me until the end, because every clue hidden inside the finale points toward a future that is far more dangerous than anyone expected. When the Season 1 finale came to an end, it became clear that the story was never just about Beth and Rip starting over in Texas. That dream was only the surface of a much larger mystery. Beneath the peaceful ranch, beneath every business deal, and beneath every smiling face was a criminal empire waiting to reveal itself. The finale completely changed the direction of the series, transforming what looked like a family drama into a full-scale war for power. At the center of that storm stands one man, Mariano Reyes. Until now, he remained nothing more than a name hidden in conversations and whispered through mysterious phone calls. But the moment Joaquin reached out to him, everything changed. It felt less like asking for help and more like unleashing a force that nobody would be able to control. That single decision may become the turning point that defines not only Season 2, but the future of the entire series. Every clue suggests Mariano isn't just another villain introduced to keep the story moving. He feels like someone who has been watching from the shadows for years, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to reclaim control. And now, that moment has finally arrived. Looking back, the writers quietly planted hints about Mariano long before viewers realized how important he truly was. Strange conversations, mysterious orders, and hidden references all pointed toward someone with enormous influence behind the scenes. At first, it was easy to assume another cartel leader was calling the shots, but as more pieces came together, fans began connecting the dots. Every episode added another clue until the finale confirmed what many had already suspected. Mariano was never a background figure. He was the invisible hand guiding events from the very beginning. That revelation instantly changes how we view every major event of Season 1. Suddenly, every betrayal, every secret meeting, and every violent confrontation feels like part of a much bigger plan that has been unfolding for decades. If that theory is correct, then Beth and Rip didn't accidentally become involved in someone else's war. They unknowingly stepped directly onto Mariano's battlefield. The emotional weight becomes even heavier once the flashbacks are taken into account. Those scenes weren't included simply to explain history. They were preparing viewers for the future. They revealed old wounds that never truly healed, and relationships that were built on guilt, silence, and buried trauma. Those events shaped the people we see today, and Season 2 could finally force everyone to confront the truth they've spent years trying to hide. That is what makes Mariano such a terrifying opponent. His greatest weapon may not be violence at all. It may be the secrets he carries. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy isn't the one holding a gun. It's the one who already knows where every emotional weakness is buried. Meanwhile, Beth Dutton once again finds herself exactly where she has always been strongest, standing in the middle of absolute chaos. Throughout Yellowstone, she survived impossible situations because she refused to back down. And there's every reason to believe she'll bring that same fearless attitude into Season 2. But Texas is different. The enemies are different. The rules are different. This time, she isn't fighting corporate executives or political rivals. She's facing people who built an entire criminal empire long before she ever arrived. Even Beth's brilliant instincts may not be enough if she underestimates just how deep those roots go. Rip faces an equally dangerous challenge. For years, he has protected the Dutton family with absolute loyalty, solving problems the only way he knows how. But every act of violence leaves another scar, and the finale hints that Rip could once again find himself forced to make an impossible decision. If survival means crossing another line, will he do it? History tells us the answer is yes. But every choice carries consequences, and this time, those consequences may follow him longer than ever before. As the smoke clears after the explosive finale, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. The peaceful future Beth and Rip dreamed about no longer exists. Instead, they stand at the beginning of a conflict that could consume everyone around them. New enemies are emerging. Old secrets refuse to stay buried. And every alliance feels one betrayal away from collapse. If Season 1 introduced us to Rio Paloma, then Season 2 looks ready to expose what the town has really been hiding all along. And believe me, the biggest twists may still be waiting just around the corner. The biggest mystery left behind after the Season 1 finale isn't just whether another war is coming, it's whether Rob Will Jackson even survives long enough to see it. Every scene in the finale seems to push him closer and closer to the edge. Rip's brutal confrontation with him, Beth's chilling warning that his time is running out, and the panic surrounding the ranch all point toward one explosive conclusion. But in the Yellowstone universe, the death of a villain is never the end of the story. It's usually the beginning of something even more dangerous. If Rob Will falls, the real question becomes who pulled the trigger, who witnessed it, and who will spend Season 2 trying to uncover the truth. Sometimes removing one enemy only creates 3 more, and that may be exactly what happens next. If Rip is forced to eliminate Rob Will, the consequences could follow him throughout the entire season. Rip has always carried the burden of protecting the people he loves, no matter the cost. But every difficult choice leaves another piece of his past that refuses to stay buried. Texas was supposed to be a fresh start, yet it now threatens to become another place where violence defines his future. Imagine Beth trying to protect their new life while Rip fights to keep another deadly secret from destroying everything they have built together. That alone could become one of the strongest emotional storylines of Season 2. Then there is Oriana, a character whose future suddenly feels far more important than many viewers expected. If she witnesses the events surrounding her father's fate, her life could change forever. She's no longer just caught between 2 families. She could become the one person holding the truth that everyone else desperately wants to hide. Her silence could protect the Duttons, but speaking out could ignite another war. That impossible choice would place enormous emotional pressure on her, especially because of her growing connection with Carter. Their relationship has never been simple, and Season 2 may test it in ways neither of them is prepared for. Speaking of Carter, his decision to walk away at the end of Season 1 may become the most important moment of his entire journey. Some viewers saw it as an emotional outburst, but it felt much deeper than that. Carter has spent years searching for a place where he truly belongs. Beth and Rip gave him a home, yet he continues to struggle with his identity and the expectations placed upon him. Season 2 could finally transform him from a confused young man into someone capable of standing beside the Duttons, rather than simply depending on them. Growth often comes through hardship, and Carter's hardest lessons may still lie ahead. One popular fan theory suggests that Carter's disappearance won't last long. Instead, he may return stronger, wiser, and ready to prove himself when the family needs him most. Imagine a moment where Beth and Rip face overwhelming danger, only for Carter to step forward and make the decision that saves them. That kind of transformation would complete the emotional journey the writers have been building since his first appearance. Rather than remaining the lost teenager searching for purpose, he could finally earn his place as a true member of the Dutton family. Beyond the personal drama, another exciting possibility has fans talking everywhere: the chance of a crossover with the wider Yellowstone universe. Recent events strongly suggest that the stories may be moving toward one another. If familiar faces begin arriving in Texas, everything changes. The problems facing Beth and Rip would no longer belong to one ranch. They would become part of a much larger conflict stretching across the entire franchise. That possibility alone has fueled endless discussions among fans who have been waiting years to see these characters reunite. Imagine the emotional impact if members of the Dutton family find themselves standing together once again, united against a common enemy. Old relationships would be tested, unresolved conflicts could finally be addressed, and longtime viewers would witness the kind of reunion they've been hoping for ever since Yellowstone came to an end. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the clues are becoming harder to ignore. Every new development seems to push the story closer to that unforgettable moment. But if there is one lesson the Yellowstone universe has taught us over the years, It's this: nothing ever happens the way fans expect. Just when one mystery appears solved, another one emerges from the shadows. Every answer creates new questions. Every victory comes with a painful sacrifice. And every character must eventually choose between loyalty and survival. As season 2 approaches, the emotional stakes have never been higher. Families will be divided, friendships will be tested, and the price of protecting the Dutton legacy may become greater than anyone imagined. And if the next chapter truly delivers everything the finale promised, viewers should prepare for a season filled with shocking betrayals, heartbreaking decisions, and twists that will leave everyone talking long after the credits roll. Now comes the biggest question of all: who will shape the future of Dutton Ranch? While the shocking finale gave fans plenty to debate, one of the most important changes is happening behind the scenes. A new creative leader is stepping in, and that could completely redefine the tone of the series. Sometimes a new showrunner doesn't simply continue a story, they reinvent it. That means season 2 has the opportunity to become darker, smarter, and far more character-driven than anything we've seen before. Instead of relying only on explosive action, the next chapter could focus on psychological warfare, impossible choices, and emotional consequences that stay with every character long after the fighting ends. If that happens, viewers won't just be watching another Western drama. They'll be watching a battle where every conversation is as dangerous as a gunfight. For Beth and Rip, the road ahead has never looked more uncertain. They arrived in Texas believing they could finally build something that belonged to them. But the season 1 finale shattered that dream. Every business deal, every partnership, and every promise now appears connected to a criminal network that has been operating for years. Season 2 must answer one question that could define the entire future of the series. Do Beth and Rip fight to save what they've built, take control of it, or destroy everything and start over from nothing? None of those choices comes without consequences. If they choose power, they'll inherit dangerous enemies. If they choose justice, they'll risk losing everything. And if they choose revenge, they may become the very people they've spent their lives fighting against.